Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. JustusRStone here with my thoughts on volume number 4 of Yuu Kamiya's light novel series, No Game, No Life. Now this one I was kind of excited to check out because I did watch the anime when it came out a couple years ago of No Game, No Life, and the anime covered volumes 1 to 3. So this was my first introduction to where No Game, No Life goes beyond the anime. Now in this one, Sora and Shiro are approached by a Dhampir named Plum. And basically what's happening is that Dhampirs have had to enter into a contract with another race, which are the Sirens, or the Mermaids. And I don't want to get too specific because it's half the fun, but basically these two races are having a lot of difficulty in terms of surviving under the rules imposed by Tet. And so they've kind of come to this understanding of a way that they can manage to survive, even though their survival usually would break the rules. The problem is that the Sirens, their current queen, has kind of changed the rules and changed how she feels about this system that they've had in place for quite a long time. And so it's resulting in the Dhampirs beginning to die off, and in this potential demise of the Sirens as well. And so the Dhampirs have come up with a way that they think that the queen can be, her opinion can be changed, and they've devised a game that they want Sora and Shiro to take part in because they figure that they can win it and that it'll save both the Dhampirs and the Sirens. In this volume we start to see the fallout of Sora and Shiro's taking over of the human empire as well as now absorbing the Eastern Union. So now we're seeing that, yes, news of who they are and what they're capable of is starting to spread beyond just their own kingdoms. And in this volume, instead of it being a challenge, which is kind of what we've seen so far, either Sora and Shiro delivering the challenge or being challenged, in this one, they're actually being approached for help. It's a game where there are no stakes really that they can lose. It's all going to be in their favor, which I thought was kind of fun because it means that the story continues the same pattern that we've seen so far, but it twists and manipulates it just a little bit so that it feels quite a bit different. Now this book, Yuu Kamiya had said, was going to be a little bit lighter than volume number 3. I'm not too sure exactly what his idea of lighter means. It means, obviously, all the characters going to the beach for a while. And it also means that the book is just a little bit naughtier than the previous volumes. Dhampirs survive by consuming the bodily fluids of other creatures. That can mean blood, that can mean sweat, that can mean a certain thing that men are capable of. And so you know where that goes with all of this. And of course, Sirens, the reason that they're dying out is they're all women, and they can only procreate by having sex with males of other races. Now, again, you can kind of follow the line of thought here. So when we're talking about a major point in the story, and the major driving conflict in the story all revolves around sex and bodily fluids, you can see where the book can open the doorway for it to be slightly more ecchi than what we've seen in the previous volumes. It's definitely not hentai by any means. It is in no way like if you're bothered by that kind of stuff. There is nothing overt. There is nothing. It's really not much worse than what we've seen in volumes 1, 2, and 3, but enough that when I started I was like, oh, okay, we're getting a little bit more just, we're just putting it out there a little bit more. Like kind of literally putting it out there. But read the book, you'll see what I mean. My other takeaway from now getting into volume number 4 of this series is that I don't think that Sora and Shiro are changing that much. As characters, they're almost more like forces of nature. They aren't about changing themselves, they're about changing the world that they encounter. And in this volume, we see Stephanie Dola, who I have said in previous volumes I was kind of bothered by the way that she's been abused by Sora and Shiro. But in this one, we see how much she has changed In volume number 1, she was this very desperate and naive little girl who was taken advantage of and being cheated in games, and she didn't see how things worked. And as we've gone through the series, she has challenged Sora and Shiro. She has tried to learn from Sora and Shiro and pushed them and pushed them and pushed them, trying to find a way to get inroads with them. And in this book, we actually start really seeing payoff to how her character has changed over these 4 volumes. And she gets a couple moments that she really gets to shine, and it shows how much she's grown and how actually powerful she's become in a lot of ways. So I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed that we've seen a secondary character almost being sort of the driving force of the character development. In general, I thought the story had some really good little twists and turns to it, particularly at the end, which, again, no spoilers, but I liked the path that it ended up taking. I liked how a lot of things that seemed very random and odd throughout the book sort of all came together at the end, and you sort of saw what the thought process was behind all of this stuff. So, in general, volume number 4 does not disappoint. If you've enjoyed volumes 1, 2, and 3 of No Game, No Life, absolutely I think you will enjoy volume number 4. I burned through it just as much as I did the other books. In fact, maybe a little bit more, because I didn't know what was going to happen, and the only way to know was to read. So I really enjoyed volume number 4, and I am very much looking forward to seeing where the story goes in volume number 5. So those are my thoughts on volume number 4 of No Game, No Life. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, click on subscribe so you can see all my future reviews of No Game, No Life and all of my future light novel reviews, including my next video, which will be on volume number 1 of Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Now, this is an older Japanese sci-fi series. It's considered pretty much a classic of Japanese sci-fi literature, and it has had an anime adaptation that has been very, very popular, has been around for a good number of years, and so we finally gotten the book in English, and I'm going to be checking that out and letting you know my thoughts next time. So thanks again for watching the video. I hope to see you in my next one. Again, click on subscribe, give the video a like so I know that you guys are enjoying what you're seeing. I really appreciate you being here. Thanks very much. Until next time, bye-bye for now.